All right, hello and welcome to this episode of the Business Accelerator series. Um, I'm Smriti Goswami and I'm a Joy of Business Facilitator. I'm a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness. I'm also being you certified facilitator and I'm also a right voice for you facilitator. And I'm also a talk to the entities facilitator. So each of these classes that I facilitate are the ones that have really created immense change in me. And these are the classes that I really resonate with the most because I've struggled with a lot of things. I've struggled with sort of showing up. I've struggled with speaking up. I've struggled with a whole lot of things, dealing with people, um, dealing with unkind people, and each of these classes that I facilitate now are the ones that created such huge, immense amount of change. So what contribution can any of these classes be to you? And what contribution can I be to each one of you? So let's get started. Before we start, how many of you have already have been attending these business accelerator series? I just see I think only a handful of you. Yes, Kavita. Awesome. Awesome. So
So
cool.
I just was listening to your recording today morning, and I was like, "Oh God, I've not attended a session for a long time." And I just opened my mobile and I saw your call at 7. So I said, "Let me not miss it."
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Just know that your presence here really, it just fills my heart with a lot of gratitude. So thank you, each one of you. I'm just muting you, Anil, 1 minute. Just muting everyone. Okay, cool. So before we get started, what's up with your business? What's going on? Does anyone have any questions? Anything that's going up? Hi, Nitisha. Good to see you here. You're on mute.
I'll keep my camera off because I'm cooking also. But I just wanted to tell you that this is something that has been calling out to me for a really long time. And it's just that timing was so good today. So I said, let me just not miss it and be here. So I'm here. I'm like all in.
Awesome. And you can keep the camera on and keep cooking. That's fine. We'll get to see what you're cooking.
Okay, cool.
Smriti,
I'll do that. All right.
Smriti,
Yes, Anil.
do you have some program which means you connecting with you for at least 10 days or 15 days in a month and a continuous, because that helps me a lot. But I think I am getting connected to after 2-3 months. I don't know whether you were busy or I was busy.
Because you were part of the Getting Out of Debt Joyfully program, that 6-month program.
Yeah.
And so we used to meet every 15 days and that used to keep it going. We are starting that same program again, but however, you've already attended it. For those of you who are looking at attending 6-month Getting Out of Debt Joyfully program, I have one starting sometime in September. I don't remember the dates, but I will mention it soon. And that class really contributes. You don't have to be in debt to choose that class. That class is about creation of money, a very conscious way of creating money. And there are a whole lot of tools for creation of money.
That class has helped me a lot for my creation. And
awesome.
then again, gap is there.
Now, so, and there's another, there's a business mentorship that I conduct, which is a call with me every week. It's for, again, 6 months, and that's also starting sometime in September. I'm not sure of the dates. I have the dates, I just don't remember them right now. So that maybe that's something you can choose. And we also have different payment options. You can pay a lump sum or you can pay every month. And yeah, and just take it from there. So cool. Let's get started with this. Creating a conscious business. Hi, Poppy. Hi, Poppy. Thank you for joining. So grateful to see you. All right. What is Devika? What do you have no clue about, Devika? You asked something. Okay, awesome. Let's get started. So let me get started, and then later on, in case any of you have any questions, we'll talk about that. So my most favorite class is the business done different, and all the joy business classes, access business and money. I did not really come from a business background. My dad used to be in the Air Force, and I mean, I never ever thought that I would have any sort of business acumen. But this class, the joy of business, used to call out to me, and I used to wonder. I wonder what I used to be just very curious about this, and sometimes you need to realize whatever you're running away from is where you have the maximum potency, and whatever's pinging you again and again and again, there is something in there for you. So that's following the whispers of possibilities. That's following the whispers of your business. That's following the whispers of all that you're looking to create in your life. Okay, so if something is calling out to you, see what is required. Just be a little more present with it, and then just go ahead and choose. So we usually end up creating a whole lot of issues or limitations, or we will create some issues with our body, some issues with money, or oh, we don't have enough money right now, maybe we'll choose it the next time, and so on. But the thing is, all those limitations are just roadblocks that you're creating for yourself. Whether you have the money or not, once you choose something and you're just committed to choosing it no matter what, automatically the universe starts changing things around to create the money for you, to create or to enable that to show up for you. I've realized that over a period of time, and I've shared numerous times on different occasions how many times I've created last minute at the end hour. And then I realized that, okay, universe, this is not fun. Waiting till the last minute, till the nth hour to create is not fun. So can I just be able to choose as and when I want? And what do I have to be into to create that? So earlier, I would think, oh, somebody is not wishing well for me, or somebody is doing this, or somebody is doing something else, or messing up with my business. And I realized it's got nothing to do with anybody else. Whatever is showing up in your life, whatever is showing up in your business is being created by you, by the energy that you're being, by the vibrations that you're being, right? So if you're worried about or stressed about something in your business, and you're wondering like, oh my God, what if this happens? Or you operating more from fear, or operating at times based on the last time I was in business, this happened and it did not work for me. So I hope something like that bad shouldn't happen again. Then you are actually enabling the same things with a different theme. So you have to be very present with what you're being in your business. So that's why the topic creating a conscious business. So when you are creating a conscious business, you are totally present with your business, with your being, and with your asks, with whatever you're looking to create. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. When you're talking about joy of business, what exactly is that? It's about expanding what is possible and inviting in an unknown opportunity and creating a future that is not necessarily rooted in the past. Okay, when you're creating from the joy of it, when you're creating a business from the joy of it, it's about unlimited potentiality and absolute non-judgment with everything that you're choosing and being. Okay, now what happens? Let me give you a few tips. Okay. So when you're looking at creating a business, there are two major factors that limit our ability to recognize and expand possibilities in business. First is the fear of failure. Okay, and the second is the need to know. need to know how it will be done, need to know or need to conclude an answer, need to know the finished product before you even actualize it. And each of the time you're choosing to create like that, you are limiting what is possible with your business. So if you are asking for something and if you create a tunnel through which it has to show up, then you are really, really limiting. You're not willing to see anything else, right? It's like wearing blinders when you're creating a business, and that's not going to be fun, and that's not really going to create much. Okay, now the reason we allow these major factors to limit our ability to recognize a great business is because both these concepts are actually rooted in the society's point of view that business, as with life, has to be created with this or determined with a fundamental set of rules. Okay, and when you're looking at following rules, that's not going to be fun. Okay, so we're looking at the rightness and the wrongness of every choice. We're looking at the rightness and wrongness of everything that's showing up. And every time you're looking at the polarity of it, the rightness and wrongness, you end up, let me just mute everyone. You end up judging it. Okay, so what's the value of judging your business? Because every time you start judging your business, it just starts, it doesn't really create much. Okay, now, what else? So instead of looking for familiar answers, instead of looking for how others are creating their business, what are you aware of with your business? What would being totally present with your business create for your business, for you and for your business? So you have to start being really, really present. Okay, so first of all, we start with, let me share a few nice, interesting tips for creating a conscious business. Start with asking questions. Okay, why do we ask questions? The thing is, there is a limit to the amount of knowledge that we have. There's like a boundary or a limit to that. So whatever, and that limit is based on all the schools, colleges, universities that we've been part of, and all the books that we might have read, all the other sources of knowledge that we have, conversations with friends, media, this and that and everything. Okay. Now, every time we're looking at, every time we ask a question and we look for an answer, we conclude an answer based on the awareness that we already have about that topic. We look at our reasoning ability, and that's not that. Whatever shows up at that moment is based mostly on some sort of conclusion or some sort of judgments or some sort of decision that this is the only way it can show up. And every time you're choosing to create a business like that, from decisions and judgments and conclusions and sort of computations, that does not create. Okay, because that limits the choices. Now, when you ask questions to the universe, when I'm talking about the universe, I'm just talking about the higher sources of consciousness present in the world, in the universe. Okay, so when you're asking questions to the universe, it starts bringing you answers from all over. See, it's omnipresent, it's everywhere. So it's not limited to just one area. So the answers start showing up in the form of awareness. So the best thing is to start asking questions. Now, when suppose you're in a big business and now you're dealing with staff, you're dealing with everyone who's sort of impacted by your business and your products and services and how they are generated. So it can be, sometimes it can be really, really daunting to be aware of all those people simultaneously. Okay. But when you start asking questions, just for example, if I choose this, what will that create? If I don't choose this, what will that create? Or what future am I creating with this choice? So when you are asking questions like this, you're not looking for any answers, but you get a awareness. There's a lightness in your space, or suddenly there'll be some pathways opening up, or maybe you might get on a call with someone who might suggest some more possibilities. That's how things start showing up. That's how pathways start opening up for your business. Okay. So asking questions is the easiest, most powerful way to unlock the potential of any business. Okay. So especially when you're faced with a choice, we have this most amazing tool, light and heavy in access consciousness. And so when you ask questions, just pay attention to how you feel in your body. Okay, if you have a sense of lightness and expansion and possibilities, that's what is true for you. Okay, and if you feel like you have knots in your stomach or a heavy sensation in your body, it's usually what is not true for you. So just be present to that. Okay, now what are the questions that you can ask? So especially with this, you can ask, okay, if I choose this, what will my business be like in 5 years? Okay, 10 years, 50 years, and so on. Okay, and or you can ask, okay, if I don't choose this, what will be my business like in 5 years, 10 years, 50 years? So when you're asking this, you can use the same questions for asking regarding, say, whether you are employing somebody, you're hiring somebody, or whether you are pitching for a big project, or whether you are looking for an office space, or whether you're looking to name your business, or whether you're looking at adding more staff, or going in for a particular big deal, just whatever it is, or maybe shifting to a different city, or creating or choosing a business partner. So you can ask these questions, same questions for any of these things. Okay, that's the best part about Access. You can ask these questions. These resonate with all, it'll resonate with everything that you require. Okay, now once you've done that, ask, do I have the information I require to get started? When you become present to that, a lot starts opening up. Okay, do I have the skills to complete it the way it is required? Because when you ask that question, you'll start realizing maybe you might need to add on some more people. And at times you can add on people only for that particular project. You don't have to like have them on your payroll all the time. You can just hire them. You can hire freelancers who would be very happy to contribute to your business for that particular requirement. Now, the best thing and the most potent of all is the ability to just keep asking questions, sit in that question without seeking answers to it. Because when you're not concluding an answer, you allow more possibilities to start showing up. You allow the whispers to start showing you the way. Okay, that's when this is what allows the greatest possibilities to flow to you, especially the energy of it. Now you're willing to look at the energy of what your business requires, okay? Without you sort of coming to conclusions about any situation, because the moment you're coming to a conclusion or any sort of judgment, it stops the energy of what it was showing up for you, okay? Now, you can ask questions that will invite more possibilities. So you can ask, yeah, who's this?
Just tell me what are the questions to be asked. Do I have the skills to?
Okay, Anil, we don't have time for me to dictate the questions. You'll have to watch the recordings again, because otherwise I lose my focus and I lose my flow of thoughts. So just go through the recordings and see what shows up.
Yeah.
Okay. You can, yeah, that means, yes, you will have to listen to the recordings again and again. And what would, I wonder what contribution that would be.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now you can ask, okay, what do I desire? Have I considered what other choices and options are available to me? What is really being asked of me? Who or what can I add to my team or project to complete this project the way it is required? So when you're asking these questions, you're not really looking for any answers, but you know, it'll be something like you might just be going out for lunch, and that day you just decide, hey, you know what, let me go to the other part of the town. Let me drive a little further down and let me go and have my lunch at a particular restaurant that's your favorite. And so you check your schedule and you realize, okay, you have a couple of hours to spare. And so you choose to drive all the way to a different part of the town. And that's when maybe you might just bump into someone, or you might meet an old friend, or you might make some new friends, and you'll just get talking, and they would come up with some sort of business idea, and which you can extrapolate and choose to create. So what just happened when you were asking, okay, who or what can I add to my team or project to complete this project the way it requires? Your business is the one that guided you to that part of the town. So you have to be really present and just follow your awareness, go with the flow. Every time I've chosen something in my life, ever since I've got into Access, I've just chosen based on the energy. And every time, whatever has been pinging me is what has really created so much more for me. So just be present with what is required and choose like that. Because sometimes, you are energetically aware of where you'd like to go. You're energetically aware of what you'd like to create in the world. Sometimes you're not able to verbalize it. Sometimes it's not a very cognitive awareness, but energetically you're aware of what you'd like to be in the world or what you'd like to create in the world. And when you're asking questions, your business is already opening up pathways for that. Long back, I was designing my house, and I had no clue how to design houses. Okay, but I was very fond of that. I used to keep watching beautiful photographs of all these magazines and all, and I would just look at the pictures of those houses, and I would be like, oh, someday I'll have a house like this, and this is what is nice. And I would just observe certain things. And so my brother happened to mention, he's like, so what do you like to do? What would you like to do? And I was like, maybe I'd like to get into interiors or do something with that, because I really love doing up houses. And so, okay, to cut the long story short, I was designing my house, and the architect we had hired, he just messed up. He just wasn't doing a good job. Then we hired some interior guys. They didn't do a good job. And it was like, I was like, no, this is not what I'm looking for. So I did not know what I was looking for, but I knew what I was not looking for. So when I managed to find a contractor and started designing my house. And so thankfully that contractor was a typical humanoid, because I kept changing my mind so often. And I was like, okay, this has to be here. And then I was like, okay, this is not looking nice like this. Now let's do this. Let's do that. And I just changed things around so many times. Anyone else would have got really worked up. But, it's like you're hitting in the dark. You don't know what you want, but once things are showing up, okay, this is not what I want. So follow the energy. Sometimes when you're creating a business, don't start judging yourself if you are messing up or things are not going the way you had decided it should go, because you are following the whispers of possibilities with your business. And even though you don't know what it looks like, you're energetically aware of that. And anything that doesn't match that is what you keep on sidelining or destroying. Or sometimes, you'll procrastinate. You'll feel that, oh my God, I don't feel like I'm not working. You'll keep judging yourself. You'll be like, you'll judge yourself for just sitting and watching Netflix day after day and wondering, why am I not creating? I should go out there and create because others are creating. Just stop that judgment. Stop judging yourself. Just be present with what's required and give yourself that me time that is there, and then come back. And that's the time you have to ask, okay, what's missing here? What more information do I require? What is it that I'm unwilling to be? That if I was willing to be, it would open up a whole new world of possibilities for me and my business. So when you start asking questions like that, you'll start getting a whole lot of awareness about everything that you can choose. So before I continue, does anyone have any questions? Anyone? Yes. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead, Kirti.
Hello. So my question is, suppose I have started working and all the people, those who have started doing business with me, they have got more success than me. And after following the business, after some time, then I get disheartened and I totally discontinue. So what to do with that? First of all, I'm not jealous of anybody, but I get too overwhelmed that they are doing so much and I'm not able to achieve that much.
So, okay, cool. So, when I first started out, I would, the moment I would get the tools of what is required, I would just put it down on my notes, or I would take a notebook and write down all the questions, all the clearings of everything that was bothering me and stuff. And I would have it, I would have a diary. Okay. I used to maintain a diary. Now, but the thing is, you have to use the tools. So what is it that when you are guiding them and they're using all the tools, what is stopping you from using the same tools for yourself? It's just the willingness to have something that you're choosing, the willingness to actually use the tools and not just hoard all the clearings and keep it aside somewhere. The willingness to actually have it is what starts creating. So long back when I started out, I had a bars, someone show up for my bars class, okay? And she made 9 lakh rupees within a week of attending the bars class. And I was like, hold on, what was that all about? So she called me, she just sent me a message saying, I'll call you. I have something really interesting to share with you. But I'll call you in 3-4 days. I'm really busy right now. And I was like, that's interesting. So a week later, she called me and she's like, hey, Smriti, this is what I wanted to share with you. I created 9 lakh rupees after attending the bars class. And I was like, okay, so what were you doing? She said, I did exactly what you told me to do. Everything, all those clearings. And I made my husband also do the same clearings. And I made my son also do the same clearings. And we just did those clearings. We did whatever, everything that you'd asked us to do. I did everything. And I was like, wow, how awesome is that? And I was like, I'm the one teaching the bars class and I've not been using the tools as dynamically. So it's just the willingness to have it and create it and make use of the tools. So if you're not, each one of you, if you're not using the tools, what are you waiting for? And then if you're not using the tools, do you really think you have the right to actually start complaining, oh, this is not working? So you're welcome, Kirti. So that's what it is. Yes, Nitisha.
Smriti, so I mean, in a scenario where you are actually, it's not your own business where you haven't put in your money, but it is consulting work. It's the same set of questions, right? If like the projects are not going through, or you're in constant dilemma whether this is the right space that you want to be in. It's the same thing that is applicable.
Same thing. You can ask the questions for whatever it is that you're choosing. Suppose. So what exactly does your work entail?
Yeah, so I also have my own work, which has always been like smaller, like because it's a not-for-profit, so it tends to follow a pace which is much smaller. Because one of the things that I realized after getting introduced to the Access, that I'm very good at taking somebody else's vision and take it to the next level. So I'm like the startup queen. So I work with people who are setting up entrepreneurships here in India. And then, so the same thing happened with a friend of mine who set up this from Australia, and I took it to the next level and realized exhausted myself in the journey and resigned from the board. I think I'm doing the same thing with another bunch of people who are setting up organizations here in India from Singapore. So,
Natasha, what will it take for you to choose to be this energy with your own business?
Yes,
What would that be? in the world, what contribution would your own business be?
Yeah.
So yeah. So what's the value of working for people and setting up things for them and not really and burning out in the bargain?
Absolutely.
Anyways, for those of you who are in a service industry and who have deadlines to meet and who have certain projects lined up, just be present with that particular project at that moment. Ask what more awareness and clarity can I receive here? What is required? And who do I need to talk to? Who can do this work for me? And you can just start extrapolating that and creating from that space.
Yeah. Thanks.
Cool. All right. Now when you're looking at, when you're looking at creating different revenue streams, for example, just break it down, make it fun for you. Okay. So my advice would be to just start looking at different things that you already do in business. Okay. What you're already doing. So what if you can actually break those down and look at all of them as business, as revenue streams, each of those things. Say for example, under the Joy of Business umbrella, okay, with Simone, what she has is, this is Joy of Business. That was a book that she created. Now from that book has been translated into so many different languages. That's a different revenue stream. Then that book is now offered in the form of a class. Not really a class, but it's part of a specialty class. So there are special JCF, Joy of Business facilitators. I'm one of them who are part of that. So that's another revenue stream for them. So each JCF being out there in the world is creating more revenue for them, for the Joy of Business. Then it's sort of, what else? So there is a business run different class, there's a getting out of debt joyfully class, there is a access business and money class. It's all part of the Joy of Business classes that are being offered. So these are all different revenue streams that are getting created. Okay. So like with Simone, she'll do telecalls, she'll do classes, she'll facilitate. In the book, each time somebody is buying that book, it's creating revenues. The book is in 11 languages. So there's just one product and it's already creating so many revenue streams. So you look at your business and see, okay, what is required? What are the different things that you're offering? Nitisha, just pay attention to that. Like, what are the different things that you're offering and how can you monetize each of those things separately? Also, how can you create products that will contribute to the whole world and as well as to you and create numerous revenue streams? How many products can you create?
Yeah.
With your awareness and the amount of knowledge you have and all the talents and abilities that each one of you has, what are the different revenue streams you can create with that? And to do that, you can all you have to do is every morning maybe ask a couple of questions. Okay, which one of these things will contribute to me today? Which one of these can I choose? Okay, which one can I contribute to that would exponentialize it? So what you're doing is, when you have numerous revenue streams, you just have to be present every morning and ask, okay, which one of those revenue streams can I contribute to? Or which one of those revenue streams is looking to contribute to me today? And basically, you can ask which one of these require my attention and energy right now, right away. So you have to have your energy infused in all those creations. However, certain creations would require a little more focus, or not really focus, but a little more awareness or being present with it. See, it's not about needing to focus. There's no need here. And what if there was no place to focus? What if you could have a spherical awareness of all your businesses? What would that create? So here's what you can do. So just imagine like a handful in your hand or a platter, okay? So just imagine you gather every single brilliant idea that you have, okay? And you just throw it up in the air. Throw up all those business ideas up in the air, okay? And then ask questions, okay? Which one desires and requires me today? Which one can I physically actualize right now? Which one of these ideas can make me money today, now and in the future? And which one will be fun for me today? So it's like, it's like, when you're stepping out, you're looking at the sky, you're on your terrace, maybe walking on your terrace, and you're just looking at the sky. And there's like a plethora of stars in the sky. And then you look at, okay, which one is shining the brightest? It's the same thing with with the numerous revenue streams that you have. You just throw up a bunch of ideas and just see, okay, which one of these will contribute to me the most? And just go ahead and choose that at that time, okay? None of them is right, none of them is wrong. Just be present with that, okay? And none of them is the answer. It's just how amazing is it that you have so many possibilities available. When you're throwing up those ideas, these are all possibilities, okay? You just choose the one that is shining the brightest or that's calling out to you the most. And then that's it. That doesn't mean the rest of them are wrong. Maybe that's not the time for them, or maybe you can focus your energy on them a little later. And just choose the one that's the most fun for you to choose. And that's how things start showing up and you start actualizing more and more. Okay. Now, what else? Also, when you're looking at creating business, at times, you're not sure which one to start, okay? First of all, ask, okay, what are the talents? If you don't know, especially when you're looking at creating numerous revenue streams, ask, okay, what are the talents and abilities I have that I've not yet actualized, that I've not yet acknowledged, that if I were to acknowledge would open up a whole new world of possibilities for me and my business. So when you start asking these questions, followed by the clearing statement, you will start becoming aware, more and more aware of what's showing up, what is required, okay? And soon you'll come across a whole lot of talents that you always had, but you just sort of pushed it out of the way because you didn't want to be judged, or for whatever reasons, okay? Now, what else? So, when you're looking at, so how many of you look at all the different possibilities that can show up and then instantaneously dismiss them by saying, okay, I'm too busy. I couldn't possibly add that on my plate. This is not the time. I'm really busy right now. Maybe I'll do it the next time or the next time or the next time. But if something is pinging you at that moment, then that's the time for it. Okay, you have to choose it then because that's when it's going to contribute the maximum to you. So just be very present with that. Okay. How many of you dismiss choosing things because you're too busy? What are you running away from? Where are you creating that busyness that's keeping you stuck? Yes, Usha, go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to ask that this is about business. I mean, I'm working with somebody in another company. So I have sent my documents, my CV and all that. The person who saw that and then he said, wow, this is a high qualification. And then, and then he said like that. And then my question here is when I would like to shift to another place, looking at my qualification, they have that judgment that the qualification is too high and they are scared to pay the amount of what I required to have in my universe like that for the salary or for the place where I'm working, the amount of the salary. So my question here is, when I send the CV with joy, with fun, and what I'm perceiving is they are putting the judgment on me.
Where are you choosing less for yourself? Where have you decided, oh, I'm starting after a little gap, or for whatever reasons? Why are you choosing something that is not as per your qualification? Why are you choosing less?
So what question can we ask here?
Okay, so what's the value? So where am I concluding? You know, sometimes it's like, oh, I'm starting after a long gap, so I should. Where have you bought into other people's points of view about things? It's like, you know, how some people, when they take a sabbatical, or sometimes women take a little off from work because just to raise kids, and then when they join back, they feel they are at a bit of a disadvantage because all the colleagues have already gone really further ahead. But the thing is, what can you ask? What are your qualifications? What are the things that are fun for you? What if you start asking for those jobs to show up? Ask those jobs to come to you. So what is fun for me? What am I going to really, really enjoy? What will it take for those job openings to show up for me? What will it take for me to get a job that's fun for me, that will pay me as per my qualifications? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you not just try and create it all? Right from for college and boys programs and beyond. So yeah, that's a kind of questions. So when you're sending out those resume, a lot of times you are sending it out more from a space of conclusion. And that does not create much. Every time you've already concluded, it's not going to open up more possibilities. You already shut all the possibilities that might not create, right? So be very present. So when I'm talking about creating a conscious business, it's about being really, really present with your business. It's about literally just being willing to be aware of everything, every nuance of your business. Okay, so ask for jobs that are fun and that will pay you high. Okay, where are you willing to ask for less? Where have you concluded that? Maybe your body doesn't want that. Maybe your body wants to be paid a lot. Or maybe your being wants to choose so much more. Right? Ask for that to show up. A lot of times when things are not happening, it's because you're asking for too less. It's not fun for you to create. Most of the time when you're procrastinating, it's because it's not fun for you. Your ask is not big enough. Okay? So how big can you ask me?
And then for the age, like sometimes what I have seen, the younger the age, they are hired more easy. The company easily accept them, So that is also there for the age.
Those are just points of view, Usha.
Okay.
Those are just points of view. Okay, what are you unwilling to be? That if you were willing to be, it would open up a whole new world of possibilities. So, I recently there was a situation where I felt like I was just being sidelined, and that wasn't fun for me. And I was aware of a whole lot of manipulation going on, and I was like, what the hell is happening? This is not fair. And I was getting all those thoughts that this is not fair. Why is this happening and all? And then, why are certain people behaving like this with me? And I was getting really worked up with that. Till I became really present. I was like, okay, can anyone ever do anything to me until somewhere I'm giving them the permission to do that? Okay, what am I unwilling to be here? So sometimes you're not willing to be the witch, or you're not willing to just literally tackle the bull by the horn, or you're not willing to speak up, or you're not willing to be that energy, that killing energy that is required at that moment, right? So that's something, that's why people just walk all over you. So you need to, so whatever you're unwilling to be is what creates and continues maintaining whatever it is that's bothering you. So all the decisions, judgments, conclusions, and computations that you have that are limiting all that you can create in your life and with your business, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Please, right, wrong, good, bad, what, potential, voice, poor, bands, and beyonds. So those of you who are new to Access and who might listen to this call now or later in the future, what I just said was, I just used the Access clearing statement to clear the energy or whatever it is that's not working. Okay, so does anyone, are you done, Usha? Yeah, okay, does anyone else have any questions? Yeah, go ahead. You are still on mute. That's okay, we'll wait. It still says connecting to audio.
Okay, do you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're talking, I'm realizing I have an image problem, okay? Because I'm working for school, I'm working for university, school district, university. And when you're a teacher 24/24, I'm from Canada, and you have to show a certain image. With Access Consciousness, I'm an Access Bars facilitator, you don't buy into the image. So I realize I don't want to do like public. I don't put my profile or my things public because I don't want them to see that different image with Access. So I'm kind of caught. So I'm wondering, will there come a time where I ditch all that school and university stuff and choose Access, or to have both?
So at this moment, what invitation can you be for more and more people to choose Access? So how can I put out the flyers or the invitation for my classes that will create more possibility in people's worlds? What invitation can I be? And what the image is just a judgment.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So what if you did not have to, you don't have to use the typical Access lingo or language. What invitation can you still be, which, okay, hold on. So what invitation can you be for people to receive you with ease? Okay, for that, you have to start receiving yourself first.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have to let go of all your judgments about yourself or what people will think or what they will decide, and yeah, and then ask.
Because I have a nice bring that in schools, because I'm already in schools, but I'm hesitating because I'm afraid to be judged. Yeah.
So what if you actually, like, I think you're in one of the best positions where you can actually take Access consciousness to schools.
Yeah, but when I say that, kind of afraid to do it because will it be received? But maybe I can. Yeah.
So what if you could let me see? I think there was this. There was someone who had. I think it was on SoundCloud or somewhere. Let me see if I can find the recording of someone who was a part, like, who used to teach maths in school, and she started using these Access tools with those kids. Just how does it get any better than this? What else is possible? And she started just inviting these little. She started introducing these little tools to those kids, and those kids really performed very well. Let me just look for that clip, and maybe I'll forward it to you.
Let's say I do it. I do it with the children, with my adult learners, but I never mention Access. Like
So what are your judgments about access, or where do you think they will ostracize you if they see you doing access? The thing is, what if somewhere you are judging access? Okay, leave that. Whatever you're being, whatever your points of view are, is what you're projecting out into the world. If you don't have any judgments, if you don't have any points of view, and you actually are creating it from the space of a contribution, being a contribution, and introducing the whole world to the possibilities, then that's the invitation. That's how they will see you and receive you. But if you're constantly judging yourself, they will also judge you.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, like, two of my sons, they want nothing to do with access. And every time I talk about Gary or Jane, they say, oh my God, they're screwers. I can't hear their name. I don't trust that at all. And I go, okay. So I have to keep it for myself.
So what if you could just be in total allowance with that? You know what? So like the people in my family, my husband and my kids, they don't really use access tools as dynamically. And but I'm here all the time. Like I conduct these calls in my kids' room. So, you know, sometimes they're just sitting there, they're watching Netflix, or they're on their computer, they're working. They have their headphones on. So half the time they're not even listening to me. I don't think they're even listening to what I'm saying, but somewhere their being is still receiving.
Yeah.
And when you're choosing more, all you have to do is just hold the space. And like my husband, when he goes on his biking trips, once he forgot his wallet somewhere, he left it the evening prior. He left it in some village somewhere because he was on a biking trip. And then the next day morning, he realized that his wallet was missing. All he did was that time, he started using the access tool. He's like, what will it take for my wallet to find me with ease? And all sorts of things. He just started asking questions. And then next day, he went back to that place. And then that village, somebody, that shopkeeper guided him to another person, and he found his wallet. So when required, they start using the tools because you're there in your face all the time, just talking about it. So it's about being the willingness to receive magic, being it. Your being is what will invite people. So what are you unwilling to be? That if you were willing to be it, would open up a whole world of possibilities for you and for the kids in the school.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a question that you can ask yourself.
Okay. So can you repeat it, because I was being distracted? What
are you unwilling to be? That if you were willing to be it, would open up a whole new world of possibilities for you and your business and for all the kids in the school. And what invitation can you be? Just that's all you have to ask every day. Instead of judging yourself, ask, okay, what invitation can I be for the kids to choose greater?
Yeah, I didn't know I judge myself so much, because if I'm obviously I am judging, and I'm judging it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. How do you pronounce your name?
Lees.
Lees. Okay, good. Yeah, Rashi.
Hi, Smriti.
Hi.
This is the first time I'm attending your call, and it is awesome. Of course, my question is something which you have answered, but I would still like to ask. It's like personal facilitation for me at the moment.
Okay, go ahead. Ask.
My question is that before I got into Access, I was into, healing modalities. And then I came into Access and I completely stopped. So now I'm getting that inclination to also do the healing modalities, restart. But, I have lost that confidence because I completely stopped last 3 years after, So what questions can I ask here? I mean, it's kind of bothering me now.
So what did you say? You've lost the healing abilities, or you've lost the confidence?
I've lost the confidence because, I completely got into Access and I completely shut that side. So now I'm restarting, but I'm not getting that confidence to.
So ask, okay, which one of those healing modalities want to be part of my creations right now? Maybe you might have some resistance with certain healing modalities. So ask, okay, which one of these healing modalities are looking to be included right now. And yeah, maybe you can start with that, and then you can 3 months later you can ask, okay, are there any other healing modalities that would like to be part of my creations? And then just start offering that.
Wonderful. I'm so glad I asked you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, yes, Mahi.
Hi, I wouldn't be able to come on the video. My coverage is a little low. So I wanted to ask you about the image question that someone had asked, extension to that. Now I hold a degree in clinical psychology, and I'm actually pretty good with my psychotherapies that I do with people. And I've seen amazing results with that. Access has a different style of working and a different way of working. The way psychology works has a lot of rules and boundaries that you have to follow. They don't go by consciousness, they go by the rule book, which involves me not to be friends with my clients, not to be friendly with them or be friends with them, or here access would be like by the end of the workshop, you're going dancing with them. So it's totally opposite. So it so happened that one of my clients who sent me a lot of clients himself because of the results that I gave him, and became a friend eventually after the therapy was over. I wished him on social media on his birthday. And he's eaten my head since then that why did you wish me on social media and all the people I sent you will not turn up? And that is exactly what started happening post that. They all mentioned the ones whom he had referred. They when I messaged them that your session is pending or something like that, they said that we didn't know you are friends with this person, and we are hesitant in taking any more healing or therapy from you. Now, how do I pot back this? I was like, this has really brought down my business.
Okay, so maybe next time avoid doing that. But sometimes so where did you buy into his points of view? Sometimes when people say something, you end up buying into their point of view, and then you create a situation that matches that decision or that position, right? So if I were not to buy into his point of view or interesting point of view, he has his point of view, that just because I wished him on social media, I'm going to lose my clients. Yeah, keep an interesting point of view with that. So what do I have to be into to outcreate that? What invitation can I be for those clients to still show up?
Yeah, that's an amazing one.
Yeah. What invitation? So it's like someone says something and we just conclude, and then that's it. Then we stop creating more for ourselves.
Yes, yes. Also, I don't know whether this is the class for this answer, but if you feel it is, let me know. I am not very sure about holding space, as in how do you go about it?
Holding space. Okay, so that is that's like a bigger topic. Let me actually be part of mostly a class. I think I've already given away so much of information. Choose a class, Mahi. I wonder what that would create.
Sure.
So I have a couple of classes lined up. One is Access Business and Money class, which is on 16th, which is day after. It's a 1 full day class. It's about creation of money. It's about your business, and it's about you. There will be 3 topics that we'll be talking about, and it's a very, very beautiful class. There's a manual that comes along. There's also
you read my mind. I was about to ask about your classes next year. What are the classes coming up?
There's one day after, and there's another one, The Business Done Different, which is showing up in Kolkata. It's on the 20th, 21st, 22nd. I'm really looking forward to that class. And yeah, A Business Done Different is like the whole overhauling of everything that's going on with you. It's not something that you learn in a, say, MBA class or something. It's more about where are you stopping yourself. Whatever is showing up in your world is because somewhere there's some subconscious belief or some subconscious thought process that's stopping that growth. So we'll be discussing a lot about that. There's a huge a level of awareness that you'll be getting during that particular class. And that, of course, there's a manual to die for. That's such a beautiful manual. It's loaded with clearings. And we'll be talking about everything, about elementals, about gold molecules, about the whole lot of things.
Wow.
So that's a 3-day class. That's in Kolkata. And this is a 1-day class, day after.
The
So-
Kolkata one is online as well?
Yeah, all these classes are also available online. And there are no prerequisites. You don't even have to have done bars to attend these classes.
That is on Monday.
Wow, wow.
Smriti, that class is on Monday.
That class is on 16th. It's on Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
It's on Tuesday.
And I'd love to, I mean, I don't know whether this is the platform again, but I'd love you to share the fee structure and wherever I can read it.
So, no,
because
I'll tell you the fee right now. There's a fixed pricing for India. It is 22,000, the
Mhm.
1-day Access Business and Money class. And of course, there's global pricing for this. And so I'm just telling you right now the Indian pricing. It is 22,000 Indian rupees. And the business done different is 1,05,000.
Great, great.
All right. Cool. So,
Thank you so
and I think there are details here which you can just be part of any of these groups, the Facebook group or the Telegram or the WhatsApp group, so that you can receive information. So there was a lot more that I had to cover, but maybe I'll continue this call maybe next week or see whenever this shows up next. So there's so much more that I had to talk about, but there'll always be new episodes, new creations. So I'll see you guys then. So thank you so much. Thanks for all your questions. And I'm just so grateful for each one of you. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.